What is up, guys? So this is something most people don't often do, or some do just kind of out of habit rather than thinking about it. It's something you see a lot of Diamond and Master players doing all the time, and it's often the reason a team actually gets a lead early. Now before we jump into it, thank you to Pro Guides for helping to edit this video. You can check their guides, site and Genius chat feature down below. Remember to like this video if you enjoy this kind of style, dislike it if you don't, but let's jump in. So the title of this video, the just in case attitude, is a name that I actually made up. I'm not gonna lie, it fits so well, so that's why I call it, but other people might actually call it a bunch of different things. It's basically looking at the game and reacting just in case something happens. It's starting to move or being aware as something starts to happen, so that if you're needed, you're there already, rather than only starting to move once you realize you actually needed to. Now I'm sure we've all raged, we've all got a little bit salty at the jungler appearing in our lane and killing us as we are fighting the enemy, or a jungler appearing to counter gank your jungler and turning it around. Well, these things, these turnarounds, these players always start with them saying, I'm gonna move there just in case he survives long enough and I can do something. This isn't just when you're playing as a jungler, but it is an easy way to explain this to start with. So really we're saying to ourselves, just in case I'm needed, I'm gonna start moving now and I can always turn around and go back if I'm not. You're not committed to diving in and trying to save them or trying to get a kill back if it's too late, but at least you are there ready just in case. So one of the biggest examples in the jungle is stopping a jungle camp to go to a lane that's being ganked. It hurts, I know, everyone's been there, not getting that gold from the camp, wasting a little bit of time that you've spent getting it to half health, but you need to do it. Drag yourself away from that jungle camp and move to the lane that's being ganked to see if you can help. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten kills like this. The jungler tries to dive my laner and gets low, or he survives long enough for me to arrive and turn it around into a 2v2. Bigger early fights tend to happen a lot more in Diamond and Master Elo because everyone is doing this. They are all moving to fights just in case, and that just in case turns into a full-on fight with one team scoring a massive advantage. If you've ever wondered how you start to have a bigger impact in a game, what you actually need to do to get a lead, then this is one really good way. So we've gone over what it is, the approaching any event on the map as an opportunity and moving towards it straight away. We've kind of touched on why we should bother, like it can give us a few early kills and a big advantage. We can turn ganks, we can turn fights and have a bit more of a proactive impact. One thing we actually haven't done is the title of this video, why I think it's needed to actually climb. So there's two reasons. The first one is a consistent impact in a game. You aren't going to climb to another tier in just 10 games, for example. If you make an effort to roam around and fight in 5 of those, then that's not too bad. It's only 5 games where you don't move as much, right? Well, yeah, kind of, but that is 50%, and we'll be playing hundreds of games. If we end up playing 500 games to climb properly, then that would be 250 games where we don't really move very much and 250 where we do. Now that is a huge difference, and everyone can see that we need to be moving around more, we need to be having an impact and taking these early advantages in every game, not just a few. This is a really good way to consistently get you a goal lead in games, and at the very least it will stop your team falling behind in those fights. That is actually point number 2. The higher you get, the more people already do this, and so you have to, or your team is going to be outnumbered. A classic good old invade is the best example, right, where one mid laner roams and the other one doesn't. Now by having this just in case attitude, if we see our jungler fighting the enemy one in the jungle, we should move towards him to help him out. Not only does this mean that we get there first and might be able to pick up a kill, but it means the enemy laner doesn't get there first and he doesn't kill our jungler, putting our team behind. The reason I think you need this to actually climb is because not only are you giving yourself a chance to get ahead, you're stopping your team from getting behind. Actually, you know what? I lied. There's a third thing, attitude. People are overgrown babies in ranked. Who would actually want to see me in a nappy crying, really? Like a full-grown guy wearing a nappy? No, thank you. But I don't see why people cry in games, but they do. If you don't move, but your opponent does, then your ally is likely going to get mad at you, get annoyed, and play even worse. It's sad, but it happens. It's just part of the game. So by having this just-in-case attitude, at the very least, you can say you tried, but hopefully you can cover up their mistakes. So that is why we get more kills, we turn fights, we outnumber, and we cover up our team's mistakes and hopefully stop them dying by themselves or to ganks. Now we're going to just go over a few examples to get you started on the kind of things that you can actually take directly into your game, and then also a few things to keep in mind. So the jungle we've kind of mentioned already, but these are going to come in two main forms really, so lane fights and ganks. So if a lane is being ganked and it's on your side of the jungle, so what I mean is that if you're top half of the jungle, that'll be mid or top lane, you should instantly move the map there and start to move, stopping your camp. You can just decide to turn around if you want to, like if you pan the map over there as you're moving and you think they're going to die, there's no chance, then just go back and carry on, but at least you made the start. Now for top lane, this could kind of be in two different ways, so using your TP or roaming down. Roaming down would probably be for like a mid lane jungle gank or a fight in the river, the jungle around you. You'd actually be surprised, but a jungle gank normally takes a while to complete, and if you move instantly, you can most likely get there in time. TP is mostly for bot lane really, but you could use it for mid too if you need to. Like if you see a gank coming in and they commit, TP in behind them and try to turn it around. At the very least, you might actually scare them away and let your teammates survive. They're going to back off and you can always cancel it if you need to. For mid lane, it's actually really easy. Any action on the map, just move. You're in prime position to affect the entire map. If you see a gank going down or an all-in fight, just start to move and keep watching. If they back off, then chances are you've been spotted and you can just go back to farming. If they don't, then you get a few free kills. For bot lane, this is a lot harder. It doesn't apply as much. It's more for like dragon fights or the jungle, or maybe mid lane too if you're pushing. So there are actually a few things to remember before we end this video. The first one is, even if you think I'm full of crap, doing this will actually massively improve your map awareness anyway. To do this, you have to pay attention to the champion icons interacting on the mini map. That's the main way you're going to spot a gank coming in. That means you have to watch the map out of the corner of your eye, and making an effort to do this will make you look at it more. It's as simple as that. After a few games of actually focusing on this attitude and really trying to do it, it'll become a habit and you'll look at the map and notice it way more, trust me. The second thing is your lane does come first, so you can't always roam. Most commonly, if you're being pushed in, then you can't run past minions, you can't run past the enemy champion. You'll also lose all those creeps to the tower, which is not a good idea. Now if the enemy laner challenges you and fights you when you're actually starting to move, then you're going to have to focus on them. You'll have to fight them or back off depending on who's stronger. So basically this is best when you're pushing already. Sometimes you want to move if you're pushed, but it's more if the enemy laner has moved already, so you're following them to not let them have the numbers advantage. So that wraps up this video and this whole concept, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you again to Pro Guys for editing this together for me. Remember to like, subscribe, comment and share, but for now let's go to the robots.